what exactly is the government trying to do right now with this one nation, one subscription thing? And how will it impact the open access movement in India?
I think this whole discussion in India started with the coming of Plan S and
Mm-hmm.
how Europe managed a Plan S. Let me tell you that India did a good job. Uh, Realizing that the state universities are really poorly funded to run their universities, let alone the funding for library is really, pathetic. But then students from smaller towns, semi-urban areas, they go to those universities and they study, and they don't usually have access to journals at all. If they are lucky, they had access to a few textbooks and things like that, right? Journals were very rare. So already the UGC had a model to subscribe on behalf of the state universities and many universities in India, and they used to subscribe centrally for all of them. And then it got merged with Technical Institutes of India, and it became the INDEST consortium, and they were doing in a consortium basis. That what it essentially meant was a central agency was a consortium, and that was negotiating on behalf of all the universities and the institutes affiliated, so that all of them will have one subscription and pay much lesser than if they were going to subscribe individually. So we already had followed this model in India, which was given up a few years ago, and now I think that is what is again being discussed. One nation, one subscription in a broader sense. But here in One Nation, One Subscription, what I liked even more is that they are telling it's not only going to be limited to the academic world, it is going to be every citizen of India, which is very, very welcome. Just you think of what impact this has, because somebody must be working in, say, Northeast, in some remote corner or other corners of India. The metropolitan places are still okay, they're better, some access is there, but think of the others. The negotiations, when they happen, it's too new, right? We are just hearing, and I'm just waiting with much interest to see the implementation of this and what it will mean at the implementation level. Because as I said, I do not subscribe or encourage to the idea of somebody pays. Okay, in the end, as long as I get what I was getting yesterday, it's not like that. It is something like, it's the first principle that we work on. Knowledge is for all. Mm. And two is, knowledge must be unto he who produces it. You can't put a barrier to that person himself who has contributed to knowledge, right? That is something not acceptable. Why can't the top brass in India just consider open access publications on par with wherever ranked journals are? We still will have a step of quality assurance, but we will replace it with academic peer reviewing that is managed. Maybe it could be managed by an agency like our UGC or whatever is set up for this purpose, or it could be managed at the institutional level. One nation, one subscription is okay, but in the long run, why not India consider a complete overhaul of thinking, that let us simply resolve to consider whatever the author publishes in whatever mode he wants to publish, let us free him. Let us remove the shackles of this impact factor, okay, away from this, and let us simply accept whatever he publishes, appoint your own peers, do quality assurance, and then you take your decisions based on that. I think if we take that step, and if anywhere in the world that step is taken, more and more researchers will happily jump onto this bandwagon called open access, and only then we will see really a revolution